everyone, Shabba Gamer here, and welcome to another episode in our Global Force Wrestling Universe Mode series here for WWE 2K16. I will say, begin this video as I have them with all of my tournaments. There's no Universe Mode footage in this video. This is just going to be a championship tournament to crown our first next-gen champion going into the Universe Mode, which should hopefully be uploaded within the next few days, our very first episodes. So as you can see here, we've got our... I can't believe I've just seen that. We've got our brackets up in front of you. It's Pentagon Jr. versus, that's actually John Morrison, but for some reason whoever's created the core has decided to call him Jomo. Okay, that's Pentagon Jr. versus John Morrison. We've got Andrew Everett taking on Killshot. We've got Marty Scurll taking on AR Fox. And then we've got Kenny Omega versus Mark Andrews. Why not, for a little bit of fun as this competition starts, why not nip down to the comment section below and just have a guess on who you think is going to win this one. I'm going to go for... You know what, I can't help but look at that first match and think that... I'm going to go for John Morrison. That's the one, I don't know why, but that's just drawn me straight into that one. I can't help but think John Morrison might walk out of this one with the championship. But like I say, nip down to the comment section below and have your guess now who you think is going to win. Be careful just in case somebody's put the winner in there already and you don't want to ruin the video for yourself. But, yep. Yeah, I'm going John Morrison. Well, let's go straight into our first match anyway and see if I can get one right for a change. And here we go with the first of our first round matches. It's Pentagon Jr. versus John Morrison. And as you can see, I still haven't been able to get the show loading screen to work. I don't know why it does it. In Universe Mode, it works perfectly fine, so it's just going to be these opening championship tournaments, but it shouldn't... Well, it's not going to affect the match too much, is it really? And here we go. Big clothesline to start things off there by Pentagon Jr. Just destroying John Morrison here. Once I just turn my tally down, I realised it's got a bit louder. I had to turn my tally down because... I had to turn my tally up, sorry, because it was going to go on to standby. So I just pressed a random button and it ended up being the volume button. But there you go. And as I say, both these cores look very, very good this year. The moving textures really has helped John Morrison's boots look a lot better. And I think this John Morrison that I've downloaded is actually John Morrison rather than the John Hennigan he uses nowadays in the indie scene. I think I'll probably keep him as John Morrison. It's probably quite a good one to keep him as. And of course, as I mentioned in a lot of my tournaments before, damage retention is on. So essentially these guys want to get through this first round as unscathed as possible. Don't want to take any injuries in that can be picked upon. And of course they don't really want to... well, they really want to take as much energy in as possible as well to that next round. And I've still got a lot of work to do with these tournaments here this evening. It's just gone 11 o'clock. I'm just starting to record this one now. Of course, this Next Gen Championship tournament. I've already recorded all the other Global Force Wrestling tournaments, so hopefully they should all get uploaded this evening. But I do need to edit them all as well still. And like I said, it's 11 o'clock now. I'm not going to finish recording this one until gone midnight, so I'm going to have a hell of a night ahead of me still, I think. Pentagon just ejecting Johnny Mundo over the top rope, and Pentagon with a spear to the outside. Oh, and Pentagon Jr. is looking incredible in this first match, and I'm starting to regret picking John Morrison as my pick for this competition now. I'm starting to think that Pentagon Jr. might have been the wise pick. And I think John Morrison's somebody that we can maybe have work for Ring of Honor as well at some point. I think he sort of suits the Ring of Honor style. Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I'm trying to keep the Ring of Honor roster as realistic as possible as we start the Universe Mode, and then maybe we'll debut certain guys from Global Force over on Ring of Honor just to bolster that roster up a little bit. It is struggling a little bit. Like I said, it's probably the smallest roster out of the lot. I say it's the smallest. It still has 35 guys on it at the moment. I think I've got a couple of extra I can add on that I've recently downloaded, like the Motor City Machine Guns. I haven't added them to the roster yet, so that'll be done. Yeah, it'll start to pick up a little bit. Like I said, I want to try and get all the rosters at least to 40. Just to make sure we can have as many varied matches as possible. Because looking back on last year's Universe Mode, I did repeat certain things quite often. And that led to the same champions over and over again, really. So I think Jay Lethal held the television championship 3 times in the 5 months we did the Universe Mode for. So like I say, we really want to try and vary it as much as we can. But by having bigger rosters, that's really going to help us. And again, in Global Force Wrestling, that's one of the main ones I really want to vary quite a bit. Of course, tag team division in Global Force Wrestling did really well last year. We got a lot of different tag champions, but the main event picture always seemed to include Okada, Tanahashi, and towards the end, of course, Brian Cage. But I just want to try and vary it as much as I possibly can. That's why we've got some more Mexican and British and more American guys this year as well in this roster. Like I said, just to try and keep the whole thing as varied as possible. But at the same time, I don't want to have too much overlap with Ring of Honor. As Pentagon Jr. going for what will be a very, very quick first round win here over Johnny Mundo. I'm thinking if we do sort of like a large feud between guys that are both on Ring of Honor and Global Force at the same time, then I think the feud will probably carry over onto the other shows. That's an interesting one to think about. For example, if we did AJ Styles versus Adam Cole, then I think we could probably work the feud into that as well, into both shows. That'd be pretty good, because both guys are working both shows. John Morrison with that spinning neck breaker on Pentagon Jr. Straight into the pin he goes. 2. Oh, Pentagon Jr. grabbed the bottom rope just before the 3 count. Johnny Morrison could not believe his luck. He really should have pulled him away from the ropes before he went for the pin. Poor ring positioning, but he thought he'd done enough damage, of course. Evidently not, though, as Pentagon Jr. continues the assault himself. Big German suplex. And I'm hoping there's no issues with this video, because I am currently trying to move some videos across at the same time. I know sometimes that can affect the recording, but it seems to be okay at the moment. I'm hoping the sound is okay and you guys are not getting like a delayed sound or anything like that. Big stamp there by Pentagon. Of course, that's just the sort of thing I've got to do to try and get all these episodes done as quickly as I possibly can and get them uploaded for you guys. So we can get straight into our proper universe mode next week, hopefully. Like I said, this coming Monday, the 16th of November, that will be the first episode of our universe mode uploaded. That's going to be WWE Monday Night Raw. Then, of course, Tuesday is going to be our Global Force Wrestling Amped show. That's going to be uploaded on Tuesday night. Of course, we need to come up with our feuds and everything like that as well. That's going to be something that I'll have to do probably tomorrow. I'm going to maybe try and get Global Force recorded tomorrow and try and get a day or so ahead this week, just so I don't sort of end up getting behind or anything like that. I want to try and be ahead at all times. There's the Spanish fly by John Morrison on Pentagon Jr. Like I said, I've got my parents visiting next weekend, so I want to make sure I can get our Attitude and Retro roster all uploaded and scheduled to be made live on the correct days, so you guys don't come on here expecting an episode and I'm behind or anything like that. So I want to make sure that I really use the scheduling to my full advantage this year, really. Because say if I'm promising a show every day, I want to make sure there is a show there every day. Probably going to try and put a time on there, maybe 8 AM in the Greenwich Mean Time every day. There should be a show live. I'm going to say that now as a general rule of thumb. So I think if you're American, then that means you will get the shows at midnight, I believe. I think is Eastern Time 8 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time? I'm not entirely sure. As Pentagon Jr. grabs John Morrison, takes him up. Package pile driver. This could be all. My pick for the competition could again be eliminated in round number 1. 1, 2, and 3 has. Pentagon Jr. goes through to our second round. John Morrison eliminated. And I'm not very good at picking these out. This is why I don't do football bets anymore. I used to bet on the football every single weekend and I never got a single one right. And the same thing is being proved here in these wrestling tournaments as well. And I've just noticed, I'm sorry if my voice sounds a bit raspy. I don't know what it is. It's probably because I've been recording these episodes all day. I'm actually starting to lose my voice a little bit. So I'm hoping that doesn't ruin the commentary too much. I know my commentary is not exactly fantastic normally as it is, but I'm hoping my raspy voice is not going to make it even worse. Hopefully I can keep it going until the end of this episode. This is the last episode I've got to do tonight. So hopefully I can keep my voice as clear as possible until the end. And there's the pin there by Pentagon Jr. That was from the gut bust. It wasn't enough for the 3 count though. And this Pentagon Jr. core looks absolutely fantastic. How good does it look? It's just one of the best ones I think I've got. And the John Morrison one looks very good as well, especially with the attire. Looks fantastic. And I think, yeah, this year's 2K16 Universe Mode is going to be, like I said, I'm hoping and I'm promising and I really want to make sure. I know that's 3 completely different ways of saying the same thing, but I really want to make sure that this Universe Mode is a step up from 2K15. Really want to make it better than what it was last year for you guys, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And here is our second match of the evening. It's going to be Andrew Everett taking on Killshot. And yeah, for the second time today, I've just fallen off my computer chair as well. Luckily, I managed to get back up before you guys noticed. But yeah, I fell off my computer chair for the second time today. The problem is, it's got one of those computer chairs where you can lean back on. And I leant back so much that I just started to slide off. And I just slithered onto the ground. I just noticed Killshot's tattoo on his chest is Sheamus's loach symbol on a right angle. That's not very good, is it? Here we go then. Killshot versus Andrew Everett. Andrew Everett, one of the best high flyers on the indie scene at the moment. He's absolutely incredible. Killshot, of course, is a Lucha Underground guy, but underneath the mask is Combat Zone Wrestling wrestler Shane Strickland. Like I said, the tattoo looks okay in general matches. It's just when you see it zoomed in there on the matchup screen, it just looks a bit shifty. Of course, we will see Killshot as part of our Tag Team Championship tournament as well. I have created a tag team called Los Cazadores, which is Spanish for the Hunters, and that's going to be Killshot and King Cuerno. So be sure to keep an eye out for them in the tag team tournament. That will be uploaded next, I believe. That's going to be episode number 4 in this Global Force Wrestling roster. And I've actually recorded that one first. That's the first episode that I recorded. So yeah, I wanted to get the long one out the way first. Like I said, it took about an hour and 45 minutes to record that tag team tournament, but after editing, I managed to slap out about half an hour's worth of loading screen. So it's really it really just shows you how long it takes to load some of these Creator Wrestler shows, especially with the Creator Arena as well on top. It does increase the recording time, but nonetheless, we will get this all sorted, and then it's not going to be too bad once we've got all the tournaments done. Once we've got all the tournaments done, and I'm not trying to record 3 or 4 episodes in one day, it should be a lot easier to keep on track with what we're doing. Sunset Flip Bomb by Andrew Everett, great move on Killshot. And Everett, I think, Everett actually is a member of the Global Force Wrestling roster in real life. I know a lot of you guys. I had a couple of comments last year with I had a Global Force Wrestling show, but barely anyone from the Global Force Wrestling roster. But this year, I've tried to have a few extra in there. We've got Magnus, we've got the Young Bucks, we've got obviously Andrew Everett as well. Bobby Roode, I think, is part of Global Force Wrestling roster now officially. I'm not entirely sure. I did have Eric Young at one point, but I needed a space, so I got rid of him. I know that's not very a good thing to do, but there you go. Not sure how long we'll keep Killshot around. He might be one of the more expendable guys that if we get hold of another team that we need desperately, then Killshot might be one of the guys to unfortunately disappear. Great move there by Andrew Everett. And there he is now with the head scissors as well. And again, this is going to be a nice different one. This has essentially replaced our Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship. So, of course, that was held by Kenny Omega. He started with it, and he held the belt for a very long time. He did lose it to Drake Younger eventually, so the only person, like I said, in this competition who's ever held that belt is going to be Kenny Omega. So again, we could end up with a completely new champion here in this universe mode compared to our 2K15. As my voice is starting to get even more raspy. Hello. Oh, that actually hurt. I shouldn't do that. Oh, great move there. Killshot launched Everett up into the air and then caught him in that cutter. And could that be all for Andrew Everett here? Killshot with a pin. 1, 2. It is. Andrew Everett is eliminated by Killshot. And Killshot obviously heard me saying he might be expendable here, and he's making sure that he's not. That was a huge victory there. Andrew Everett is, I'm going to say, much higher rated than Killshot on this game at the moment. And that was a big, big win for Killshot, and a very, very quick win as well. I think that's really going to help him later on as he faces off against Pentagon Jr. in our first semi-final. And a full Lucha Underground semi-final as well. What a great win that was for Killshot. Completely out of the blue as well with that launch up cutter. And here is our third of the first round matches. It's going to be the villain, Marty Scurll, taking on AR Fox. And there goes the bell, and we are underway. And AR Fox is another one of the guys that I really tried to get a hold of last year on 2K15. He just was not available. But this year, here he is. For those of you who don't know AR Fox, I've seen him quite a lot in Combat Zone Wrestling, but he's also worked a few Pro Wrestling Guerrilla shows and things like that as well. He is absolutely insane. He does some of the biggest and scariest spots I think I've ever seen. He likes to dive quite often into into anything, really. He is an absolute insane. I think he's somebody who Chuck Taylor regarded. Chuck Taylor actually said in commentary once on Pro Wrestling Guerrilla that he was pretty sure that AR Fox was going to cripple himself at some point with some of the crazy things he goes for. But he's still going. Good old AR Fox. He's a pretty good wrestler, and he's going to be a great addition to our Global Force Wrestling roster, especially if we can put him in some matches against Andrew Everett. They're both very fast. And here we go. This is just what I was saying. AR Fox likes to go for some scary dives, but he catches that one on Marty Scurll. And again, for those guys who don't know who Marty Scurll is, he's a British wrestler. He currently hosts the Wrestle Talk television program on Challenge TV as well. He recently worked the Battle of Los Angeles pay-per-view for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. And he also was part of the very first season, of TNA's British Boot Camp. I think he actually was in the finals. Of course, it was Rockstar Spud who won that eventually, but Scurll was also involved in that. And there he is with a backdrop on the apron. And again, you will see Marty Scurll as part of the Tag Team Championship tournament, which will be uploaded next. Part of a tag team alongside Zack Sabre Jr., called LDRS, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure LDRS stands for leaders, and it was supposed to be the leaders of the next generation of wrestlers. That was supposed to be what it was, but that's the tag team we've got as well. It's another great tag team to have in our universe mode. We're going to have a lot more than we had last year. I'm aiming for about 10 tag teams per roster, which seems like a lot, but it's really going to help us have a much more varied sort of tag team division. Because again, some of the rosters last year, we had the same people over and over and over again going for the championship. So I want to just try and keep it as varied as possible. Give everyone their chances. But of course, some guys, some tag teams are not going to be as good as others. We all know that. So we will develop it as much as we possibly can. Try and get some more varied matches. Because we're gonna change as well. We're gonna have more matches on each card. We're gonna have 7 matches on every episode of Monday Night Raw, and 7 matches on every episode of Friday Night Raw is War for the Attitude Era. And then all the other brands are going to have 6 matches on the card. That's just to do with the fact that the current day roster and Attitude Era have got bigger rosters than everyone else. And then obviously all of our pay-per-views are going to be 7 matches as well, and maybe a pre-show, depending on how we feel on the show. I'm going to say we probably have a pre-show on all of them as well, but I don't want to promise on anything yet. Of course, stuff like Global Force Wrestling, if we do like a 7-day pay-per-view, like the G1 Climax Festival or something along them sort of lines, we will not be doing a pre-show for every single day, because that just adds a hell of a lot of work that probably doesn't need to be done. If we're going to have a 7-day pay-per-view, we don't need pre-shows. We can do everything we need in that 7-day pay-per-view. There's the pin for AR Fox over Marty Scurll. It's only for a 2 count. There, but for the current day roster and Attitude Era, we will be having a pre-show. Probably maybe for NXT as well, and maybe for Retro roster. I'm not entirely sure on that yet. Maybe we'll do Retro roster once we get the downloadable content and expand the roster quite a bit. With Global Force Wrestling, like I said, I don't think any of the Global Force Wrestling pay-per-views are going to be a single day. They're all going to be multiple day formats. So we probably won't have any pre-shows for them. We'll just do them as they need to do. I say I had an idea earlier on one of my other videos. I can't remember which video it was now, but I made the idea of maybe doing a Global Force Wrestling UK tour. And what we could do is we could do like a 4 or 5 day pay-per-view. We could do a show in the IWC arena. The ICW arena, that's the one. A show in the Progress Wrestling arena. A show in the Preston City Wrestling arena, and a show in Southside Wrestling arena. I'm pretty sure they're all on the community creation, so that's definitely something we could look at doing. Just to try and use some of the extra arenas would be pretty damn good. Pin here by Marty Scurll on AR Fox, but Fox kicks out. Also plan on doing some Japanese stuff as well, so we'll use the New Japan arena. We'll use the AAA arena at some point, and of course we'll use the Lucha Underground and things like that as well. Essentially, we're going to use Ring of Honor as sort of like an American indie company, using a lot of the American formats, the American arenas and stuff like that. And Global Force Wrestling is going to be very much the rest of the world, as a sort of the way I've done the roster, really. Scurll now just slamming AR Fox down, now dropping his knees onto the arm of AR Fox. Rolls him over. I'm always tempted to say in the clover whenever I say rolls him over, but there you go. That's just an insight into my strange mind, but there you go. AR Fox now launching Marty Scurll into the other corner. Spins him round, and there's a boot to the stomach and a headbutt. And AR Fox going a bit more aggressive now, going a bit more brawler style. And as I say that, he lines up Marty Scurll, and there's the drop kick. Big move there by AR Fox, and brings Scurll back up to his feet, but Marty Scurll there with a jawbreaker. There is the snapmare now. Killshot. That's not Killshot. That's AR Fox. Sorry. Locking in the head scissors, but Marty Scurll does very well to escape from that. Scurll with a great snapmare of his own now, locking the arm, slowing the pace of the match down. Probably the best thing for him to do. Trying to slow down the much quicker and much more agile AR Fox. Scurll gets around the back of Fox, and now there's a great sort of... Is that a T-bone suplex? I think it is. I don't think it is. I don't know. My mind is gone completely blank now what type of suplex that was. AR Fox, picking up a head of steam, flipping over the top of Marty Scurll, and there's a great running forearm by AR Fox. Can he follow it up though? Brings Marty Scurll back up to his feet. Takes him up to his shoulders. And there's the air raid slam. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Oh, and Marty Scurll kicks out. Marty Scurll really showing some great resilience here, but he's taken a lot of damage against AR Fox, and that's going to maybe hold him back in the future. AR Fox now taking Marty up onto the top. Marty with a boot though, and there is a big missile dropkick from Marty Scurll. The fans love that one. Double foot stomp from Scurll as well. Is he lining? What's he doing here? He's going for random air grapples. Another bit of poor AI there from the game. There's been quite a few examples of that, I must admit. And AR Fox capitalising on that poor AI. But Marty Scurll reverses and dropping him in the complete shot into that bottom turnbuckle pad. Scurll now making his way up to the top rope. What does he have planned here? Big senton. He hasn't gone for the pin yet. He probably should go for the pin here. He went to grab the legs of AR Fox, but AR Fox kicks him away, and you must think that that delay there by Marty Scurll may come back to haunt him. As Fox throws him face first into that corner, spins him round. Takes him up onto the top turnbuckle pad now. This could be dangerous here for Marty, but he manages to kick Fox away, creates a little bit of space, and there's another big missile dropkick right to the face of AR Fox. Went for the boot to the face again, but Fox back up and with the right hand. Fox now taking Marty Scurll up. There's that big... Is that a brain buster or a suplex? I can't tell from that camera angle. But either way, Marty Scull's been busted open. AR Fox throwing Scurll into the corner. Makes his way up onto the top, and there's the over-the-top head scissors. Beautiful move there. Now Fox with a big boot to the back of Marty Scurll as well. Brings him back up to his feet. And I'm surprised this match is still going for as long as it has. Both of these guys are taking a lot of damage. You'd think that one of them would have given by now. Headlock here by AR Fox, now slowing the match down. And he knows that Marty Scurll's bleeding, and the longer this match goes on, the more energy is just seeping out of Marty Scurll's body. Scurll knows he needs to get this match finished as soon as possible and get that cut looked at and obviously cleaned up before the semi-final if he does make it there. But he might not get a chance. AR Fox, air raid slam. In the corner, is AR Fox going to defeat Marty Scurll here? Pulls him into the middle of the ring. He needs to go for a pin quickly. He does finally go for a pin. 1, 2. And no, Marty Scurll kicks out once again. And you know what? I think if Marty Scurll does go through, he's going to be a very, very easy target for the winner of our final first round match, which of course is Kenny Omega and Mark Andrews. Scurll now locking in a crossface chicken wing submission hold. We haven't seen, I think we've only seen 2 submission victories so far in these tournaments, and I've uploaded about 30 now we're getting close to. So I'm not expecting much from that. And I nearly fell off my chair again, but managed to save it at the last second. Big German suplex by AR Fox. And again, rolling Marty Scurll over. Makes his way up to the top rope. What has AR Fox got planned here? He might not get a chance as Marty Scurll gets back up to his feet and manages to duck underneath the attempted drop kick. Scurll brings Fox back up to his feet, and now a couple of clotheslines. Tripping AR Fox. Scurll is struggling, now rolling AR Fox over. He's not gone for the pin, but he is going to go for the last chancery submission hold. No, he's not. Oh, a big, powerful submission there. It's almost like a cloverleaf style submission, but he dropped down and laid down into it. And now he goes into an armbar, showing some of the submission specialists' skills that he probably would have learnt off his tag team partner, Zack Sabre Jr. And now there's another crossface chicken wing. Is AR Fox going to be just the 3rd man to tap out in his tournaments? He's not. After the 2nd attempt at the crossface chicken wing from Marty Scurll, he's not been successful. And we need to make sure that he has got a impact finisher as well as just that submission. Otherwise, he's not going to do very well in this universe mode. Now Marty locking AR Fox into the Tree of Woe. And we always have at least one match in these tournaments which lasts a hell of a lot longer than the others. But like I said, with a match lasting this long, that means that chances are the semi-final of this end of the brackets is going to be super, super quick. I'm talking like 30 seconds to a minute. Based on some of the other tournaments we've had, it really does start to go that way. Scurll now with the arm locked behind the head of AR Fox, now wrenching him up into the air. And I still could not believe this match is still going. AR Fox struggling to get out of this submission hold. Scurll finally breaks it. Thinks he's done enough damage. AR Fox bringing Scurll into the middle of the ring. Takes him up. Sit out powerbomb by AR Fox on Marty Scurll. Rolls him over. Is going to go for the pin here? No, he doesn't. He goes up onto the top rope. He tried this earlier and Scurll got back up to his feet, but now he's going to go for it once again. He's up there now. There's the moonsault with a sort of spin in there as well. Is he going to go up for a second, is he? Or he's going to go for a... Whoa! What the hell just happened? What on hell just happened there? That was pretty much insane. It's a shame because it was a really good move, but the game glitched and he completely missed it. And now Scurll takes AR Fox up and hits him with that big suplex. Marty Scurll pulling AR Fox into the side of the ring here. I've got a feeling I know what he's going to go for. There he is, feet up on the ropes. 1, 2. No, it's only a 2 count. Or did the referee see Skull's feet, maybe? The referee might have saw Marty Scurll's feet there on the apron and stopped the count. I think that might have been what it was. Scurll now rolling AR Fox over. And I still can't believe this match is continuing onwards. AR Fox launching Marty Scurll into the mat, face first. Now dropping a knee onto the inside of the... dropping an elbow onto the inside of the knee of Marty Scurll. Brings Scurll back up to his feet. Snapmare now. And slowing the pace of the match down once again. And this match is really just dominating this entire competition. Now this match has taken longer than the first 2 matches put together. And like I said, that's really going to make either of these 2 guys really struggle going into the semi-final. I don't think they're going to get very far. Of course, they've got the winner of the winner of Mark Andrews versus Kenny Omega in the next round. I keep getting my names mixed up constantly today. I'm really not doing very well here. Super backdrop by Marty Scurll, and surely that's going to be enough to finish AR Fox off here. Rolls him over. Why is he not going for the pin? I'll tell you what, the game's AI is just so bad in some cases. That is why is he doing this? Why is he going into the corner and just backing into the corner constantly? We've seen him try this a few times in this match now, and something is definitely bugged in the writing of this, whatever move it is he's trying to use. I'm assuming he's got some sort of finisher where he goes into a corner and then hits the finisher maneuver button and then lines it up, maybe like a spear or something like that. Great spinning heel kick, almost like a super beauty shot there from the top rope. Now here he goes again, just backing into the corner. Come on, Marty, do something. Follow that up with a pin. Big boot to the stomach of AR Fox. And how is this match still going? I don't know, but like I say, no matter who wins this, I'm guaranteeing they're not going to win the championship. Let's go with that blow to the back of AR Fox, another one as well. Boot to the stomach, and now AR Fox reversing that into a Russian leg sweep. And if Marty continues on this way with the poor AI, he's definitely going to get knocked out of this competition. AR Fox sends him into the corner. Spins him around. What has he got planned? Does he do the super Spanish fly off the top? Well, I'm not going to get a chance to see as Marty Scurll catches him. And now dropping his knees onto the inside of that arm once again. Going in for the pin. Could this be finally the end of the match? 1, 2. And it is Marty Scurll victorious. Even after some very, very poor AI decisions, he finally makes it through to the semi-final. But I'm not liking his chances of getting very far in this one now. That must have been a good 15 minutes, maybe even longer match. His energy is going to be shot. He's been bleeding for a big chunk of that match as well. He's not going to do very well in this one. I'm sure he's not. With the amount of injuries he's picked up and the amount of energy he's expended so far, I think that the winner of Kenny Omega, Mark Andrews, is going to completely walk through him into the final to face off against the winner of our complete Lucha Underground semi-final as well. I just can't believe this match went on for so long. I really can't. It's I think it's going to another situation of Marty Scurll having a submission finisher and it's just not working for him. Like I say, again, we'll have to try and give him a impact finisher to join the submission finisher just to give him more of a chance of picking up the victory. I know he uses the crossface chicken wing as his submission in real life, but like I say, it just doesn't work in this game. AI versus AI submissions just do not work, especially finisher ones. As we see some of the highlights, but based on the length of the match, I think the highlights are going to be pretty long as well. Or maybe not, that was pretty much towards the end, that wasn't it? Oh, this was the end, sorry. This is a little bit of chain wrestling there by Marty Scurll, dropping these knees onto the inside of the arm of AR Fox, and it wasn't that move that finished it off. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, is the saying, isn't it? There was a lot of damage done through the entire match, but it just happened to be that move that finished the whole thing off. So there you go. The villain, Marty Scurll, is making his way through to our semi-final to face off against the winner of our last first round match. But how much energy and how many injuries is he taking with him? And here we go with our last first round match. Can I just say how good this Mark Andrews core looks? It's absolutely fantastic. Of course, if you don't know who Mark Andrews is, he is an English wrestler once again. But he's also the winner of the second series of British Boot Camp. So you can see him on TNA as well. And Kenny Omega has the eyes of a cat. I don't know why, but that's just what I noticed when I look at Kenny Omega. His hair looks fantastic. I think everything about him looks a lot better than the one we had last year, but his eyes are just a bit freaky. But there you go. But that Mark Andrews looks absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to use him a bit more in the universe mode. And here we go. Pretty good. Again, the Mark Andrews attire is spot on as well. As is the Kenny Omega one. This is the first time I've used Kenny Omega, actually. No, it isn't. No, I tell a lie. We have used Kenny Omega already in the Ring of Honor Television Championship Tournament, I think it was. So this is his second chance at gold in these tournaments. I'm not going to say if he won the Ring of Honor Television Championship or not. Of course, some of you guys who've been watching the videos as I've been uploading them will know already the result of that one. Although I've done that many that I can't remember the result myself. Who won that? Who won that? Oh, I remember who won it now, yeah. I remember who won that. Definitely worth a watch. Great move there by Kenny Omega, just tripping Mark Andrews over. And yeah, this Mark Andrews core is absolutely fantastic. Again, it's the same guy that made Tommy End and made Zack Sabre Jr. as well. He's made quite a few British cores. I've only got these 3 at the moment, I think, but I think he's working on some more that I'll definitely look to get a hold of. He has got a Will Ospreay as well, which is one I really want to get a hold of, but the face just doesn't quite look right at the moment. I think he's still working on that one. But yeah, the guy's name I think is Dan Harrington. I think his name is. But if you're on the PS4, if you go into Community Creations and just search for the hashtag Progress, you'll find all of these British wrestlers that he's been creating. They do look absolutely fantastic, and so we're so lucky that he seems to be one of the best core makers out there, and he's actually creating a lot of the British guys that I really wanted to use as well. And of course, Mark Andrews is again part of TNA as well, so it's not just a British wrestler. Some of you guys will know him from watching TNA. He hasn't been given a hell of a lot of chance at the moment, but what the hell was that noise? What the hell was that noise? That's just frightened the crap out of me. It is 11:30. I'm sat here in the dark and there were some really scary noises going on. I don't know what that was. Actually, I might know what that was. Give me 1 second just to look out the window. Yep, I thought it was. I'm fine now. I'm not scared anymore. Like I said, I can't remember if it was this video or I think it was one of my other videos earlier on. There's roadworks right outside my house. They've set up a set of traffic lights and it's really annoying really because people are sat there just watching me through my window at the moment as I'm recording these episodes. But they've got those metal signs up saying like say here when the lights show red and things like that. And one of those metal signs is just blown over in the wind and it made a horrible crashing metal noise. And it frightened the life out of me because I could have sworn it was coming from my bedroom, but it's actually not. It's coming through the front window. I had a feeling that's what it was going to be when I heard the noise, but it still freaked me out. But anyway, enough about my scary problems. Still got a great match here for you. I think the winner of this match is easily going to get through to the final. Kenny Omega versus Mark Andrews. Of course, we saw how much damage Marty Scurll has already taken. If Mark Andrews wins this, we can have a full British semi-final as well. Which would be pretty good. Of course, Kenny Omega is the only person in this competition who held the 2K15 equivalent of this belt, which was the Junior Heavyweight Championship. So should Mark Andrews eliminate Kenny Omega here, we're going to guarantee again another brand new champion. Kenny Omega going for the pin, 2. Or Mark Andrews kicks out just before the 3 count. And Mark Andrews, I think, does like to be called Mandrews. I don't know, obviously just joining his first name and surname up. Oh, he went for the Hurricanrana, but Kenny Omega kept his strength and caught him in the powerbomb, now lining Mark Andrews up. And are we going to see my favourite finisher manoeuvre? Are we going to see it? No, we're not. He's using a different one here. A great sort of cradle Michinoku driver. And it's not enough to win in the match. I'm not quite sure if my favourite finisher manoeuvre is in this game, and it is Kenny Omega's. It's a capture. It's electric chair capture German suplex, if that makes any sense. So he takes him up on his shoulders in an electric chair, and then he chucks him up to the air, catches him mid-air, and takes him over into a deadlift German. It's an absolutely fantastic move. Hopefully he has it on the... It was part of the downloadable content moves pack last year, and I'm hoping it's going to be part of the game standard this year. It'd be nice to think it is. Mark Andrews. Oh, using some great maneuvers there, catching Omega in the head scissors. Great move. Standing corkscrew moonsault, which is a move he does actually do. Into the pin. 2. It's only a 2 count. And of course, one of the big matches this year from Battle of Los Angeles was actually Mark Andrews versus Will Ospreay. It was one of the matches that really stole the first night. It was a cracking match. I've seen these two guys wrestle a few times, Mark Andrews and Will Ospreay. They know each other's styles so well. They are fantastic in the ring together. And that's why I really want to try and get a Will Ospreay core if I can. But like I said, the one that's been created at the moment, it's the same with a lot of the cores, but they've got the face scans on. He's just got a line across his forehead, where you can see where the face scan ends and the rest of the face begins. So I'm hoping that that gets fixed. But as you can see by the Mark Andrews one, he's got this one absolutely perfect, spot on. So I'm hoping he can do the same for Will Ospreay as well. And we're getting pretty close to having a full British roster at this point, aren't we? I'll tell you what, I'd be happy whoever wins this match. And like I said, whoever wins this match, I'm going to say is going to get straight through to the final, because Marty Scurll is not in a condition to wrestle again after that 20-minute long match against AR Fox. Mandrew's now into the headlock. Slowing the pace of the match down, just get a chance to rebuild a little bit of energy. And Kenny Omega looks like he's happy to do the same thing there, just laying on his back. He's not even trying to get out at this rate. And finally, Mark Andrews breaks it now, catches Omega in that front headlock. Northern Light suplex. Mark Andrews holds the bridge and the pin. 1, 2. Oh, so close. He nearly defeated Kenny Omega there. Oh, massive right hand by Kenny Omega now. Andrews slides off the back. There's a backdrop. And a standing corkscrew moonsaults. That's what I meant to say. 2. Oh, and again, Kenny Omega kicks out. And like I said, if Mark Andrews can pick up the victory here, we know we're guaranteed a brand new next-gen champion, something we never had in 2K15. Blue Thunder bomb there by Mark Andrews. Is it going to be enough to win in the match? Again, he rolls Kenny Omega over now, brings him back up to his feet. There's the over-the-top cutter. Again, bringing Omega back up. Throws him into that far corner. Running dropkick. Back up to his feet he comes, but Omega manages to push him away and create a little bit of space. But Mandrew's once again with that dropkick. And it wouldn't surprise me if Mandrews is looking to go for that big shooting star press at some point in time. Omega Northern Light suplex, bridge and a pin for himself. 1, 2. Oh, and again, it was so close. And this time the other way. We saw Andrews nearly pick up a victory with the Northern Light suplex earlier on, but this time Omega went for it. And now Kenny has him up, and there he goes down into that cradle Michinoku driver. 1, 2, and 3. Of course it is. Kenny Omega through to the semi-finals. He's going to face off against a very, very weakened Marty Scurll. I'm sure I can hear thunder and lightning outside now as well. I'm glad I don't go outside very often. It's not very nice out there, is it? And here was it was the original cradle Michinoku drive. I'm hoping I'm calling that the right thing. I want to make sure that he has got the correct finishes, because I want to make sure he has definitely got the German suplex. That's if it is available on this game. I'm not entirely sure it is. I love that move. That was obviously a Samurai Del Sol move, or a Kalisto, if you will, if you're a WWE fan. There's a standing corkscrew moonsault by Mark Andrews, and just looking at him in the ring, I think he's going to be a great asset in this Global Force Wrestling roster. He really does act very well in the ring. He's got a great moveset, and I really think we can do some pretty good stuff with him. Of course, he's going to be heavily involved in this next-gen championship sort of area, and of course he could also be involved in our World Cup when we get around to doing that as well, alongside some of the other British wrestlers such as Marty Scurll, Zack Sabre Jr. Of course, we've got, if you look in British wrestlers, you've also got Drew Galloway, Magnus, Bram, Grado. We really have got a big British contingent on this Global Force Wrestling roster, as well as we've got obviously the German wrestler. I'm not sure if Michael Dante is German or Dutch as well. I know Tommy End is definitely Dutch, but I'm not sure if Michael Dante is Dutch or if he's German. But either way, those two are both part of this roster as well. Then we've got a few Mexicans, a few Japanese, a few Americans. So it's a nice, very, very varied roster, Global Force Wrestling. I'm really looking forward to really getting into our universe mode with it. So before we get into our semi-finals, let's just have a quick look at the brackets once again. So we have for you Pentagon Jr. versus Killshot in an all Lucha Underground semi-final. And our second semi-final is going to be Marty Scurll, who's not in a very good condition after that long match against AR Fox. He's going to be taking on Kenny Omega. And here we go, Pentagon Jr. versus Killshot in that first semi-final. And here we go. Of course, Pentagon Jr. defeated John Morrison in the first round, and Killshot got a surprise victory, really, over Andrew Everett. So both these guys are probably not in too bad of a condition, to tell the honest truth. But I would expect this match to be a lot shorter than our previous first round matches, as all of our semi-finals tend to be. My money, now that John Morrison's gone out, my money is actually going to be on Pentagon Jr. I think we're going to see a Pentagon Jr. versus Kenny Omega final, and that's probably going to be a really damn good final, actually, thinking about it. Two of the stronger guys in the competition. It's going to be a great final to see. There's that big gut buster there by Pentagon Jr., and that could be all here. Into the pin he goes. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Pentagon Jr. could not believe it. He thought he had the 3 there, as did I, tell the honest truth. But Killshot is still in this one. Pentagon Jr. now launching Killshot to the outside, and is Pentagon going to go high risk here? It is a bit of a risk, considering this is a semi-final and there's another match after this one. Oh, I went for the big over-the-top dive and Killshot avoided it. Pentagon Jr. crashed and burned on the outside. It's going to be very painful on his back. And I think that's not going to be a good situation for him to be in. If he does make it through to the final, he's just put himself under some more damage that he could have really done without. But it doesn't look to have affected him too much here. As, what is he doing? And we see a very strange occurrence in this match, as I've seen before in one of our other Global Force Wrestling competitions. Somebody has got themselves disqualified. And that's, yeah, okay. Well, Killshot's going through to the final nonetheless. But maybe we've ended up with 2 feuds here. 2 feuds, both from the same situation, both in Global Force Wrestling. And that's a very, very interesting one. The best thing about this is I was looking to align these 2 wrestlers at some point anyway, so this has actually worked out pretty well for me. Yeah, that's really interesting. Again, I'm assuming this is down to the stats of the individual. Maybe he's a very aggressive wrestler and doesn't think things through. Therefore, he was not doing too well. He grabbed the chair and he attacked his opponent. So that's an interesting one, that. Very interesting. Let's see how this develops as we continue through our universe mode. If you picked Pentagon Jr. to win this competition, then you, like me, are very, very perplexed right now and you have no idea what is going on. But we're going to see Killshot versus the winner of Marty Scurll and Kenny Omega. And here we go with that second semi-final. Who's going to go on to face Killshot this evening for the Next Gen Championship? Will it be Marty Scurll or will it be Kenny Omega? And here we go. Like I said earlier on, I don't think Marty Scurll has much of a chance in this one. He's been for a big, big, long match against AR Fox this evening already. I think energy-wise, he's going to be really struggling in this one. I think he's probably brought a few injuries into this one as well. Of course, he was busted open pretty early into that match as well, so I can see he's no longer bleeding, so he must have had that cut looked at. But he's actually lining Kenny Omega up. Is there any chance that Marty Scurll could do this? And if he does, of course, it means we're going to have a brand new champion. Somebody we've not had in our universe mode as a champion as well. Of course, Kenny Omega is the only person in the tournament who held the equivalent belt to this in 2K15, which was the Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship. And I'm so happy that this year the belts are going to look a lot better as well. They're looking a lot more realistic. I think all the Global Force Wrestling ones are the real belts, apart from obviously the Intercontinental belt, which I've made myself. And of course the Junior Heavyweight Championships will look different as well. The Tag Championships, that is, once I get them done, they're going to look different as well because, well, of course, they don't exist. So they're going to be ones that I've made myself, or ones that I've downloaded that would suit that sort of division. But I'll have to see how it all pans out, I suppose. There's still a couple of championship belts I would like to probably do if I can get the right amount of people on the rosters to do them. But that's going to be over the next couple of days, hopefully. Like I said, we will have our first episode of Monday Night Raw uploaded on Monday, this becoming Monday, so that's going to be the 16th of November. If it's past the 16th of November now, then check out the description below and you will find a link to all of the playlists, but specifically the WWE one where our first episode will be uploaded on the 16th. Of course, our second episode will be uploaded on the 17th. It's going to be daily. Of course, it's going to be daily, but we're going to have an episode of Monday Night Raw on a Monday, an episode of Global Force on a Tuesday, we're going to have NXT on a Wednesday, Ring of Honor on a Thursday, Attitude Era on a Friday, and retro roster on a Saturday. Now, Attitude Era is going to involve WCW and ECW guys as well, so if you're looking for that sort of thing, then that's your best place to look. We do have a hardcore division over on the Attitude Era, and that is essentially going to be the ECW guys. I've also got the WCW. We're going to have guys like Bret Hart's going to be on there. We've obviously got Kevin Nash, Booker T, Goldberg, Sting. So we're going to have quite a large contingent of WCW guys on there as well. And we have got 2 main event championships, which is really going to help us get some more guys involved in the main event picture, and some more WCW guys as well, I suppose. I almost split the championships up when I did the tournaments, but it didn't really work out how I planned. And we've got 2 champions that I wasn't really expecting in our Attitude Era, so it's going to be very interesting. None of the champions that have been crowned are people that I necessarily would have given the belt to myself. And that's not saying they're not good enough to have them, it's just saying that it's not the people that I probably would have given them to myself. That is probably a good thing, because it means we're going to have something completely different and completely out of my comfort zone, if that's the correct phrase to use. But as Kenny Omega's going on through to the final as well, and what sort of condition is Killshot going to be in after that chair attack by Pentagon Jr.? That's something we'll definitely have to look at. Something we're definitely going to have to look at. And if anything, then Pentagon Jr. could have actually cost Killshot the championship here, really, as Kenny Omega might have an easy final. But not only that, I think Pentagon Jr. has cost himself the championship, because I think he should have really won that first semi-final quite easily against Killshot, but he decided to use a chair, got himself disqualified, and now we're going to see Kenny Omega versus Killshot in our final. That's going to be very, very interesting. Like I said, Kenny Omega held the Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship on 2K15 for quite some time. And will he be the first person to hold the Next Gen Championship as well? And here is that final match for the Next Gen Championship there. As you can see at the bottom, it's going to be Killshot versus Kenny Omega. And here we go. The final here this evening, Killshot versus Kenny Omega. What sort of condition is Killshot in after being assaulted with a chair by Pentagon Jr. in the semi-final earlier on? And will it be simple here for Kenny Omega just to pick him off? But Killshot back up to his feet, and there's a big back elbow by Killshot. Sends Kenny Omega into the corner. Killshot is not down and out here, you know. He's already defeated Andrew Everett and Pentagon. Well, I say he defeated Pentagon. Pentagon defeated himself, but those are 2 guys you wouldn't expect Killshot to get past, so there's no reason why this could be the 3rd guy you wouldn't expect him to get past. As he's up on the top, and there he is with a double foot stomp, harnessing the spirit of low key. Now up to the top goes Killshot again. Big elbow drop into the pin. 1, 2. He's done it. He's actually done it. Oh, well done, Killshot. Well done, Killshot. You know what? I said at the beginning of this video that Killshot was somebody who was going to be quite expendable on Global Force Wrestling. And if somebody else came along that we really wanted, he was probably going to be one of the guys that would be downloaded over. But now he's just showed me here that we can't. He's just made himself... He just made himself essential to this roster. He's made himself a champion. So Killshot is safe. And you see, his tattoo doesn't look... When you're in the loading screen, his tattoo looks green and it gets a little bit annoying. But in this screen here, it doesn't have the same effect. It actually looks okay. And there he is. Killshot with a Next Gen Championship. And there you go. There's confirmation that Killshot defeated Andrew Everett. Won by disqualification against Pentagon Jr. And then beat Kenny Omega in the final to become our first Global Force Wrestling Next Gen Champion. That's a very interesting result, that one. That's probably one of the guys that I never expected to win it. Probably out of everyone else in the tournament, I did not expect Killshot to go this way and actually win. I expected Andrew Everett to win the first round, to tell the honest truth, but there you go, I'm proved wrong once again on this game, and it's supplied us with a very different champion. Once again, somebody we can really work with. A completely fresh start as well. Kenny Omega was the only person in this tournament who had held the equivalent championship in our 2K15 roster. And yeah, we've got a brand new champion once again. So I think that's mostly brand new champions in every single tournament so far. So we're going to have a completely fresh start on 2K16. And it's really going to be very interesting to see all these new guys and how they fit into our rosters, especially with all of the new status effects as well. That's going to be quite good to see. But I think that's going to be all for this video. Of course, if you have liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Of course, hit that thumbs up button for Killshot being our surprise champion as well. And of course, hit that thumbs up button for all the fantastic creator wrestlers, especially Mark Andrews, which I think is absolutely fantastic, that creator wrestler. That's a really good one. Of course, subscribe if you're not already, because we'll be uploading a lot more 2K16 footage daily, all the way up until well after Christmas, well after WrestleMania, and probably all the way up to 2K17. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.